Russell Westbrook this offseason, LeBron and Anthony Davis apparently said they were willing to slide over to the 4 and 5 to make room for the new point guard, and LeBron's agent, Rich Paul, has reportedly told other NBA agents the same thing. The purple and gold now have a lot of front court depth as the team remakes itself with veterans in their hunt for another title. So, Shannon, is this good news or bad news?
Well, Skip, it's good news. I like the fact that both guys are willing to accommodate and, basically said, look, we're willing to sacrifice our normal positions. AD playing the 5, we know how much he hates playing the 5, except in certain situations late in the ball game to close out the ball game. LeBron can play the 4, but he'd like to play the 3, but he will play the 4, Skip, because you remember their closing lineup in the championship was AD at the 5, LeBron at the 4, KCP, Rondo, and Caruso. That was normally their closing lineup. So, and if you really look at it, even though LeBron sometimes handled the point, he was really the 4 in the lineup. He could play this because they're not typical 80s and 94s, Skip. Nobody's really like a Karl Malone, Rasheed Wallace, guys playing with their back to the basket. Most of these guys are on the wing. Most of these guys are stretched where they're shooting the 3, the mid-range. So nobody's really like backing you down like they used to do in the 80s and the 90s. So LeBron could get away with that. I'm all for it, Skip. If LeBron playing 4, AD going to the 5, if that means getting another one of your best players. Because at the end of the day, Skip, you want your best 5 on the court at a given time. And so if that's going to get another one of their better players into the starting lineup, I'm all for it. But it doesn't make sense to me. I don't believe that's going to be the case. I believe that might be the case in a closing situation, but it doesn't make any sense. You'll sign Dwight Howard and DeAndre Jordan. And Anthony Davis made it a point to go hug and tell Rob Pelinka how happy he is that he got DJ. So why would you do a situation like that if you're going to play exclusively the 5? I don't believe AD will play exclusively the 5. I believe there'll be points in time that he might mainly, Skip, in a closing situation. I believe 9 times out of 10, AD is going to be the 5, LeBron's going to be the 4. But to start the game, I don't believe that's going to be the case. I don't believe Anthony Davis is going to, because he doesn't want to bang with DeAndre Jordan all day. He doesn't want to bang with Yoke. He doesn't want to bang with Joel Embiid. That's not what he wants to do. In a closing situation, last 7, 8 minutes of a ball game, have at it. But to start the game, but I like the willingness, and that's what you got to have. You got to have willingness to sacrifice. As okay, look, this is not my normal position, but for the betterment of the team, this is what I'm willing to do. And you know what it ends in?
Wow.
Confetti all over the place. Clean up.
I got a lot to say about the things you just said. And I'm going to start from the third to last thing you said about DJ. So you're telling me that AD hugged Pelinka, the GM, for signing a player who was cut by the Brooklyn Nets. Cut, just like, please get out of here. We have no more use for you because you have fallen completely out of our rotation to the point that down the stretch of those playoff games, you are DNP. Did not play.
Some
Interesting.
people. Some people trash
that doesn't sound like a
treasure.
banner move to me.
Okay.
Yeah, it doesn't. And I got more bad news for you, speaking of the question that we're supposed to answer, because the more I hear, the weirder it gets, because LeBron, by the day, seems to be moving farther and farther away from the 1, as in PG, as in point guard.
I told you he wasn't going to be the point.
Going farther and farther. First, I thought he's going to be the 2, and then it went to the 3, and now it's all the way over to the 4. Once upon a time, that was called power forward.
Right.
And I'll buy what you're saying. The game has evolved out of the Karl Malone power forward
Tim
mold.
Duncan power forward. Those
Tim
days
Duncan
are over.
was a center.
Tim Duncan was a 4.
He was a 5. He's 7 feet tall. He only got that label because he played with David Robinson. They had to call him something. Let's call him the 4.
Yeah, that's what he was. He was
4. Through the dynasty years, he was the 5. Don't give me anything, but whatever. Okay, so what just slays me over this is that more and more they are not only accommodating Russ, they're basically handing the keys of the kingdom to Russell Westbrook. The same Russell Westbrook who led the Wizards last year to a 34-38 record while leading the league in turnovers by a lot.
But Skip, when Bradley Beal was out, he carried them.
Okay, but Russ ended up last year with 312 turnovers. That was 31 clear of Luka in second place, and that was 281 for Luka. And then down in third was Trae Young at 261. So Russ just ran away with the turnover race.
And he ran away with the assist race.
Okay.
He ran away with that.
4 times he has led this league in turnovers. 4 times he's finished second in turnovers. 4 times he has led this whole league in usage rate. How much do you have the ball in your hands through a game? And 4 more times he's been second in usage rate. He must have the ball because he is a stat machine. He is the greatest solo act in the history of basketball. He is must-see TV. I'd be the first to admit I am enthralled. I am fascinated. I can't not watch Russell Westbrook play right now because for the last 5 years, he has averaged triple doubles.
Yep.
To me, he is slightly prioritizing over his entire career stats over winning. Individual achievements, triple doubles over winning. Others are the other way around. LeBron is definitely the other way around, though I'm starting to wonder if it's going to creep into his head. I got to catch Kareem. I got to catch Kareem. I got to shoot threes. I got to shoot threes.
No, we just got to win.
Okay, well, he had a career high attempts from 3 last year, and I say that was 6.3 a game. I say that goes up to 7 this year, so that could be a problem.
Right.
Because you have a below-average three-point shooter in LeBron, and you have a pathetic three-point shooter in Russell Westbrook. So now you got a backcourt, although he's now the 4. I don't know. So now what am I supposed to presume here? That who's it going to be? Ellington's going to be the 2?
Probably Ellington. Okay,
so Ellington's going to play the Kobe position of 2 guard, right? For the Los Angeles Lakers.
Yeah.
Once upon a time, the bubble champs. And you're going to open with Wayne Ellington as your 2 guard? I mean, that's just crazy to me.
He might open it too, Skip. Listen, like I said, I don't believe when they roll the ball out to the court and they throw it up in the air, I don't believe that will be the lineup. I don't believe LeBron will be the 4 and AD will be the 5 in a starting lineup.
Okay.
I believe they will play that at some point during the game.
Okay.
But I believe DJ or Dwight Howard would be the starting 5 and AD will be the 4.
Maybe so. Is Talen Horton-Tucker in this mix somewhere? I love him. LeBron really loves him, in part because he's a clutch client, but he is all of 20 years of age.
Yeah, let that
you
sink
sure
in
about
for a
that?
second.
What do I always hear from Melo? He's been talking lately about, you people don't understand, because LeBron and I, we know how to play, so we can outthink you instead of out-athlete you, right?
Right.
Well, THT can out-athlete you.
Yeah.
Can he outthink you at the highest level? The championship level, if you're talking about raising another banner, do you trust him down the stretch of a big game?
You trusted Caruso.
Well, he became pretty trustable.
Exactly.
Okay.
So you don't know if you can trust somebody until you trust somebody.
By the way, they weirdly didn't match to keep Caruso. I don't know what that was about. LeBron's going to miss because that was his partner in crime down the stretch. Am I right?
Yes.
Okay. So are you sure that you want the ball down the stretch in the hands of Russell Westbrook?
Now you don't like Rondo. It once upon a time when the Clippers had him on playoff Rondo.
Okay.
We have him.
Okay.
You don't.
I'm all in on Rondo, and he will be all out of your rotation because Russ is not going to literally sit still on the bench for Rondo playing 20-some minutes a night. Not going to happen.
18 to 20.
Russ will create hell in that locker room
No, he won't.
behind closed doors. Yes, he will.
No.
He is a high minutes player. He needs to be on the floor with ball in hand.
No. He's going to have the